Welcome back, guys. In the previous lecture we have connected our front-end React application to our back-end Node.js, and we have performed our first API request, which is used to fetch all the rooms from the back-end. So now in this lecture we are going to use the API and we are going to build this home page for our application. So it's very simple. Already we are getting an array of 5 objects to the front end, so we are going to loop through that 5 array, and for every iteration we are going to design this room component. So first of all I am going to write the iteration for that array. So already we are having this home screen.js, so remove this to h1 text, and here I am going to write the loop. So before writing the loop I am going to create some components, not components, some variables. Const loading and error. So whenever the set loading, whenever the API request is started, the loading will be true. Whenever it is complete, the loading will be false. So I am going to write useState. Initially it is empty. And one more thing is const error. So if it is having any error, we have to display some message in the home screen instead of the error 404. So that's the reason I am going to write the error variable. Set error is equal to useState. This empty. It is also initially empty. So in the try block, after the API request is success, we have to set loading is equal to false. So before only we have to set loading is equal to true. So in the try statement I am going to set loading is equal to true. So we have to show one loading icon. Later we will design that loading icon. As of now we will simply show one h1 text. Loading is equal to true. Set loading true. After completing the API request, we are going to write set loading equal to false. That's it. And in the catch block we have to write set error is equal to true. Set error is equal to true, because whenever we are having any errors only the catch block will execute. And I am going to write set error is equal to true. Set error is equal to error or set error is equal to true. We can write anything. So I'll just write set error is equal to true only. And here also I am going to write this loading is equal to false, because sometimes while executing this statement only we may got the errors. So here if we executing this statement and here only we got the errors, these two statements may not execute. So in the catch block also every time we have to write the set loading is equal to false. So these are all mandatory things in our application and we are going to use it repeatedly. Set loading false. So here while rendering the component we have to check all these things: rooms, loading and error. So first we have to check if it is loading. I am going to write if loading is true. If loading is if loading is true, then I am going to render one h1 component, and in that I will write loading. Else if error is equal to true, if error is equal to true, I am going to show the h1 text error or something went wrong. You can write anything. Later we will design the components, error component and the success component and loading component, all that things. So in this lecture for the temporary purpose just write the h1 text. So if there is no loading, if there is no error, that means we got our result rooms. Then here I will write rooms. Rooms dot map. So for every iteration we will take room as our object. That's it. So here we have to return one component. Return. So initially I will return the room name only. So I will return one h1 text. In that h1 text I will write room dot name. Control S. Now let's check. Refresh the page. Here you can see initially it is showing loading icon. That means our API request is processing. So whenever it is in the processing state, it will show loading icon. So whenever the processing is complete, it will gives us the result. So these are all called as the rooms. So now instead of rendering all the things in this same page, I am going to create one component which is used to call as the room component. So it will be used to render as many as times in our home screen. So now I am going to create this room component, room.js. So here also I am going to write RFCE. For this room component, we are going to pass the parameters as, not the parameter, props as room only. Yeah. So here I am going to render this. So to make it responsive, I am going to use the bootstrap divs. So not divs, bootstrap grids. So first of all, copy this and create one div. Sorry. So for this div, write the class name as row. So we are going to use the bootstrap rows and columns for the responsiveness purpose. So here I am going to write this copied statement, format document. So in the return statement, I am going to return one div. So for this div, I am going to write call md 9 or 10. You can write anything, because if you use all the 12 columns, we cannot apply the margins and paddings clearly. That's the reason I am going to use only 9 or 10 columns. So initially I have used only 9. So later, if it is not as our expectations, we can increase it. So in these 9 columns, I am going to render the room component. Yeah. So for this room component, we have to pass the props as room only. Room is equal to room. So we are going to prop this object to the room component. So here I am going to take that prop and I am going to render one name. So I'll just write room.name. Control S. Now let's see whether the props are sending successfully or not. You can see here it is sending successfully. So now I am going to design the div. So I am going to create one div, or you can directly write from here only. So let's see. So first here I am going to create one row. So in the room component, I am going to create one row, and in that row I am going to allocate 3 or 4 columns for the image and remaining columns for the text purposes. So div, sorry, here only we can write directly row, class name equal to row, and here I am going to divide this row into 2 parts, call md4 and call md6, call md6 or 7. One column is for margins. So call md4, call md7. So in this first call md4, we have to display the image. I am going to write img. So remove these alt and sr set, and in the src just write room dot image URLs, because it is the property name, image URLs of 0. So for every room we are having 3 images. So in the home page we are going to display the first image. That's the reason I am going to put index 0. Control S. And for this image I am going to write the styling. So I am going to apply the class name as small img, because in the model pop-up we are going to display the big img. That's the reason I am going to write this class name as small img. Let me show you this. So this is the big img. That's the reason I am going to use 2 class names for images. So for the small img I am going to write the styling in the index.css. So as I said in the introduction section only, so we are going to concentrate styling in the last sections. So in these sections or in coming sections, we are going to write the normal styling. So as I said, we are not learning the CSS here, we are learning the logics. So that's the reason you need not to waste much time in the CSS. So normal styling is enough. Dot, so the class name is small img. I'll write height is equal to 200 pixels and width is also, so width is not right, not we need not to write width, just write width is equal to auto or 100%. 100% important. Yeah, so now let's see the output. So here you can see we got all the images. So now let me bring these 9 columns at the center of the page. So here you can see we are having 9 columns, so we can bring this at the center of the page. So apply the container class for the parent div, so it will be at the center of the page, container, and here apply justify content center, justify content center. Yeah, now it's looking good. And for this row I'm going to apply the margin top is equal to 5, that means 50. mt5 is equal to margin top 50 in Bootstrap terminology. Let's refresh the page. Yeah, now it's looking good. So in the col md9 also I'm going to apply margin top is equal to 2. So for every room we are going to have some margins. Refresh. Yeah, now we are having margins, later we can increase it. So first let's design these things. So the first 4 columns is completed. Now I'm going to write the remaining 7 columns. So in the remaining 7 columns, the first h1 text is room name, room.name, and the next one is, let me check, these facilities. So as of now I think we don't have facilities in our MongoDB. So if you want to add, you can add it directly. I forgot to add that array, so you can avoid it now. If you want, you can. So max count, phone number, and type. So h1, or if you want to use p tags for this, you can use it. Only for the room name I'm going to use the h1, and remaining max count. Max count is equal to room dot max count. C is not capital, it is small. We are not going to use capital letters anywhere. P, and phone number, here also I'm going to use room dot phone number, and the last one is P. Type is equal to deluxe or non-deluxe. Already we have the property in the MongoDB, room dot type. Control S. Now let's check we got everything or not. Yeah, here you can see we got everything. So now I'm going to decrease the size of this h1 text. So font size is equal to, I think 20 px is enough. Important. Yeah, now it's looking good. So now I will bring all these at the left side. So I'll just write text align left, or you can use the direct Bootstrap class text left. Text left is not working. What happened? Remove this text left and open app.css, because in the app.css we are having the text align property. So here you can see by default the text align will be center. You have to change it to left. So wherever you write text, it will be moved to the left side only. Yeah, now it's working fine. So everything is working fine. Now here I am going to add the view details button. So at the left side I am going to add this view details. So this is room component. I am going to create one div. In this div I am going to write button, view details, and here I am going to write class name is equal to btn. Let's check. So btn primary. Yeah, now I got the button. So now I will bring this button at the right side. Now I will apply the style for this div. So I will bring this button at the right side, float right. Yeah, you can see here now the button is at the right side. So now I will spend some time to this style the component. So first of all I will add the styling for the image. So open index.css. Already we have written small img, border radius is equal to 5 px, important, and yeah, border radius is applied. And for this button I am going to apply the background color as black. So we are going to use black and white combination in this project, so we should see only two colors, either black or white. So btn background color is equal to black, important, and text color is equal to white, white, important. Yeah, so I will remove this box shadow is equal to none, box shadow none, important. Yeah, the box shadow has also removed. So now I will add shadow for these divs. So it is also one of the box shadow. So if you want to add your own box shadow, you can add. So I have copied some box shadow styling from the internet only. So let's type that box shadow css. So here you can see 86 beautiful CSS shadow examples. So here we have the stylings inline. So I have copied this third one. So you can copy this or you can copy anything, it will give direct styling. So copy this and create one class, and for that class add box shadow. So I am going to write the class name as .bs. That's it. So I am going to add this bs class wherever we require box shadow. So you can add here for this row bs, Control S. Now let's check how it's gonna look. Yeah, the box shadow has been applied successfully. And for this box shadow class I am going to add the margins and paddings. So empty margin top 20 pixels and the border radius 5 pixels, important, Control S. Yeah, now it's looking good. And I will also add the padding P20, important. Yeah, now it's looking like as it is. If you want to add more, you can add it. So here I have used the bold for these paragraph tags. So if you want to use, you can. So let me change it to the bold only, so it looks good. So copy everything and put it in the bold tag. Control S. Yeah, now everything is in the bold. So let's format the document. Control S. Yeah, everything is good. So now I will change the font. So I am using the Montserrat's font in our developed project, and I'm going to copy that. If you want to use your own favorite font, you can use it. So I'm going to use Google font. So here you can select any of your favorite font. So I'm going to use Montserrat. Where is it? I'll type here. Yeah, this is my font. Here I'm going to select regular 400, or if you want to select medium you can. I'm going to select this regular 400 only. I'm selected. So you have to select this import and copy this import statement and paste it in the index.css. So this is index.css. So above the body tag you have to paste that, and here in the body you have to apply the font. So here you can see font family, copy and apply for the body. So it will be applied to all the fonts automatically. Apply important tag, Ctrl S. Now let's check whether the fonts has changed or not. So here you can see the fonts has changed successfully. So I think we have copied the regular one, so I think it's not looking much dark. So let's copy the medium one. Remove this regular and copy the medium. I want some font weight high. Copy and replace it here. Now it should look good. Yeah, now it's looking much better. Refresh, loading. So you can see our divs. So in the next lecture we are going to create our model pop-up. So this pop-up we are going to create. Thank you.